Let's dive into that a little bit. So thinking about, what your I know you definitely do a good job with, individualizing what everyone needs. There's no cookie cutter plan, but what's kind of your approach or style to help these kids out, right? Especially the ones that are serious. Like there's a lot of baseball players that when they're going into high school, it's like, hey, you have a legitimate shot. This might be your ticket to college or whatever it is, extending your education. So what's kind of your approach to help these people that are definitely serious about getting to the next level?
Well, my approach is more of like an environment kind of mindset thing, right? It's that I want players to be naturally curious. I don't want my players to take what I say as law. Because I could even be wrong. And so to be able to like kind of foster that curiosity, right? I always tell on my players' first initial visits, like this isn't practice. This isn't somewhere where, because I feel like there's a dynamic when you have a player on a team, coach-player relationship is very one-sided. It's very like, this guy talks, this guy listens, and this guy tries to apply what that guy was talking about.
Yes.
I don't think that's a very good approach.
I agree.
That's me just personally. Like I don't feel, especially with something that is so gray, like throwing mechanics, right? Everybody's body is different. Everybody's movement patterns are different. So we can't approach the skill from a one-way approach. We have to be able to be multifaceted. We have to be able to keep strengths, fix some of these flaws. And then, for you to do that, you have to be, everything can't be so concrete. Everything can't be so, well, this is the way it is because this is the way my dad said, or this is the way my coach says. It's, like, come here. If you are watching Clayton Kershaw throw on TV and you see something cool that he does and you want to try it, let's try it. I'm going to be the first critic of it. But, I never shoot down an idea from any of my players. So being curious, and not looking at everything as black and white.
Yeah, I think those two things, I 100% agree. Like that collaboration back and forth, because the thing is, you can tell someone what to do, but then how much are they going to actually be curious or even learn why they need to do things or learn about their body, right? When you start to put it on them and get this two-way communication going on, I think they're going to get way more out of it too, because now they're paying attention to like, oh yeah, like I can kind of see like outside perspective, what I'm experiencing, put those two things together.
Yeah. And like, and if you enjoy, or if you have a legitimate interest in what you're doing, you might not enjoy it, but at least there's an interest in it. I think that is where you start to get better.
Yes.
That's where I think, all of the development starts, because it's not like seen as a chore. It's not seen as, and kind of like having you kind of talk about that too, it's just making sure that, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's, what they're telling me and what I'm telling them are meshing and with that. So
yeah, that motivation, drive, there's so many things I think there's a lot of overlap with how we approach clients, athletes and things like that too. I definitely agree. The other thing too that you said that I really like a lot is that there's no black and white. Yeah, there's fundamentals, there's things that you have to understand, but there's no black and white, because once you get to there's going to be all these individual differences. And I can go on and on. This could be for a squat, or it could be for throwing mechanics.
Right.
There's so many things that's going on, infinite amount of variables that you can compensate, usually in a bad way that you don't want to do, you want to avoid. But there's also ways that, hey, this is how you move. If you understand this, you'll move more efficiently, or, develop more technique and whatever it is. So I think that's oftentimes with all the information out there, right? People think of things as really black and white, and it's like, this is going to apply to everybody across the board. And it's like, especially for pitching, that's not going to be true, right? It might work for someone really well, maybe work okay for someone else, and maybe be detrimental for someone else. And that's the thing that people need to kind of understand.
And like you talk about kind of, not to beat a dead horse with the whole pitching thing, but like somebody like the West Side Barbell guy. He just passed away. But like coming from that, kind of like looking at that guy's story too, right? It was kind of the same thing, right? It's like traditionally everybody was saying, okay, like for you to squat 1,000 pounds, you need to do box squats, you need to do this, blah, blah, blah. he kind of had that whole idea of like, no,
Yeah.
you telling me that I had back surgery and I can't lift, like I can still lift. I can still figure this out.
Yes.
And, again, it's just that doesn't happen unless, that guy has that thinking of going against the grain.
Yeah. Yep. And then inventing that reverse hyper machine too, right? So yeah, all of those things there's so many stories that come out like that where, there's differences in how everyone moves and how everyone can train to reach this capacity or get back to whatever they were doing too.